Assalamualaikum, everybody. How are you doing? This is Hasnan from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm going to broadcast. And let me test my sound. Although in the studio it shows, just to double check, testing my sound.
Testing my sound.
Okay, so that's cool. So what I did actually, I on my smartphone and check my sound. How are you doing, everybody? Please, those who just join in watching from different platforms, I am using Habs.tv platform to broadcast. Those who are from Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or Twitch, even, feel free to post your comments in the chat, and I would be actually seeing in Have Studio your comments and will be answering. The only drawback will be like you won't be able to see uh, people who are commenting at Hat's platform. Their comments won't be seen to different platforms. So anyway, so I could see on eyeball four. So four people are viewing so far. That's cool. That's very nice. And I am exploring. Actually, I got. I saw like new feature on Habs TV Studio. It's much more smooth when we are going to actually start our broadcast. It gives you very nice countdown that uh, five, six, like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and live. That's very nice feature I noticed, and it was bit easy and smooth, I would say, when I was actually broadcasting. I have connected to almost 10 different channels. Most of them are on Facebook, different groups. So feel free to say hi in the comment in the chat so that I can see who is watching and from where you're watching. How are you doing? What's new there? So I will be broadcasting for an hour time. Let's see. I have some topics to cover. But before that, let's have chat for 1 to 2 minutes. Get everybody connected and see how is everything going on. So still waiting. Still four people on the eyeball in the studio. Okay. So if you look at the title of my broadcast, I will be broadcasting today Wearable EduTech. So I'll be giving a talk after I think 3 weeks, if I'm not or 2 weeks, yeah. So after 2 weeks, I will be giving a talk on tech, educational technology, but wearable. So that's where we. I was looking for my smartwatch. So I do have that. So I was looking. I think it's outside in a different room. Put it on charging. Yeah. Okay. So that will be the first topic to cover in my today broadcast, and second topic would be like I have started Clubhouse, and if you notice on my profile on Habs, I have shared the link. So the first person from Habs was Randy Horton. Thanks, Randy, for following me on Clubhouse. So this Clubhouse I have actually installed on Android device. So everybody noticed that Clubhouse was very famous uh, amongst iOS users. So lately they have actually started for Android also. So yesterday was my first day to start a room, I would say. So I did for 5 to 6 minutes and waiting for others to join, but yet people yet to join because I have to actually build my community there. Okay, here on Habs, I have thanks God I have a lot of actually friends here. So that's how actually slowly you have to come online, do live broadcasts, and you will build community, and that's how your audience will grow. And don't give up. Don't give up. That's what I would be saying to everybody, those who are doing broadcasts. um, Come up with good content, and you will see that people will be watching your broadcast. If they are not watching live, you will see. That's what, based on my own experience, personal experience on Habs and on YouTube and on other platforms, people will watch your recording of this broadcast. So the number sometimes three times more than the live, people who watch you live. So once again, thanks those who are watching my broadcast. I would wait for at least one or two comments in the chat and before starting my content. So feel free, use your comments and say hi in the chat and let me know from where you are watching my podcast. Okay, so let's um, what I can do, I can actually share some of the links which hello, hi Tiana, right? From New Jersey. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so before I start my actual content, let's share my YouTube channel, and I would request all of you to subscribe to this channel. Okay, that's how I'm building actually my audience for on different platforms. So that would be great. So once again, I repeat, today I will be covering two topics. The first one will be more on wearable computing or wearable educational technology. And second topic, I will be sharing with you about Clubhouse or audio drop in chat rooms. Okay. So I'm sharing my YouTube channel. Feel free to broadcast or even subscribe to it. And it's broadcasting live on YouTube now also. So I could see like on my channel it shows live. So that's another update, because last time when I used to broadcast, it takes some hours to do live streaming on my channel, but I could see now it's live. So that's another good news for me. Okay, so let me share my blog also in the. So if you go to my profile, you could see actually all these links available there, right? So whenever you are pasting a link in the comments, just do wait for a while. Let uh, Hair Studio fetch the thumbnail of your link, and then only you could link. So then once you send, before fetching that thumbnails or content, people will be not able to click. So it's not clickable. Okay. So the second link I'm going to share is about my blog. So you could actually see, yeah. So let's start sharing by presenting. Okay, so let's start. So what I'm going to do, I will be clicking present in the studio, and I'll be using my slides to present my. So I have two screens, so I have to pick which screen. And okay, so I need to select. So I will use setting as picture in picture, and Let's switch toggle between that. So I want that in a big screen. Yeah. Or for time being, I want to disappear myself so that you could see clearly. So the first topic I'm going to talk is wearable EduTechs or wearable technology or computing, how we could use them for teaching and learning purposes. So feel free, do comment in the chat if you have any question or any suggestion. Maybe you have some good tools to share with me or with our audience, and that would be a great, collaborative sessions. Thanks those who are just joining in my broadcast. Feel free to come in the chat, in comment, and say hi, and do let me know from where you are watching my broadcast. I'll be talking on wearable edutech. It's just basic or at surface level. So after 2 weeks, I will be giving a full-fledged talk to medical educationists. That would be a webinar, So I'm just gathering some information. So thought of sharing with HABS community first, and to my all other social media networks. Okay. So let's move on to next slide. And so before I jump into uh, wearable computing, I just want to bring you back to the history. So everybody knows about industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution, we discovered steam. So that's where traveling from horses, from that slow vehicles, we actually evolved steam engines, and travel was actually shortened. That was the first, um, I would say, industrial revolution, where we evolve steam engine, right? And industrial revolution 3, where we discover electricity and we actually come up with electronics, okay, more electrical appliances. And industrial revolution 3 was more on electronics, where we have chip size or integrated circuits very small, and computers age. And industrial revolution, where we merge all these three industrial revolution, and we come up with augmented reality or artificial intelligence, robotics. So when we are talking about wearable computing or wearable edutech, so that's, I just want to bring you back and share with you the history, and how we could actually evolve where we are now. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, yeah. So the first technology I would like to share in the category of wearables are smart watches. So I'm not promoting any brand, but maybe you could see some of the brands available. I try not to promote any one of them. You just try explore yourself, and make sure that you do have spare parts or accessories available at your local market. But the whole idea of these smartwatches are, is extension of your smart phones. Okay, so it can actually work with your smartphone, or even with your extension of, I would say, computing devices. So if you notice here on the top right side, uh, you don't need to on the phone. Okay, so everything could be on your smartwatch. The one I'm using is actually Samsung S3. So last time I was using Samsung handphone, so it was, I mean, working very well with that. But then now I changed my phone to MI Xiaomi, so it's still working with it, but I need to actually configure certain apps with that smartwatch. And if you notice here, the this smartwatch, which actually checks your heart pulse, and there are many other things which we could do using these smartwatches or smart, wearables, right? So that's the first device I would like to share. Please feel free. Once again, thanks for dropping by to my broadcast. And if you have any question or any suggestions, feel free to share in the comment. Okay. The next one in wearable computing is under the category of smart clothing. Okay. So if you're looking smart clothing, so it means the sensors are embedded inside your clothes. So while you're wearing jackets or maybe undergarments, they do have sensors, and these sensors continuously monitoring your uh, statistics, like health statistics, like maybe heart rate, blood pressure, things like that. So then I'm just showing some example here in the pictures. You see here, uh, there are different sensors here which can even detect how is your body reacting or behaving, and all this data captured through these sensors could be transmitted, wirelessly to anywhere you want, maybe to your even clinicians or even to your personal family doctor, so they can monitor you. Then we have smart shoes. So if you go down at the right side here, so you see if you're wearing a smart shoe, it will detect how you move. So your swing while you're playing golf, it could detect and it could attach with an app, and that app could be installed on your phone. So that's how it could actually monitor your movement, okay, by wearing their smart shoes. Then we do have actually some kind of sensors here, like panic button or music control or any other configuration you could set. So by touching your shoulder, underneath shoulder, you have some sensors which you could actually control, maybe lighting or air conditioning in this room, so things like that. And even it could detect a hazardous environment, if there are like poisonous gases and things like that. So all this is achievable due to our MEMS, like semiconductor is getting smaller in size, faster in computation, and cheaper in cost. And that's where we have micro electromechanical systems. So nowadays, you could send, um, capsule size camera embedded inside that, and you could swallow it, and it could take the pictures inside of your digestion tract, GI, uh, gastrointestinal tract, so it can take the pictures of all that and can transmit images, so you no need to do that, expensive and difficult treat diagnostic, where we have to actually pass tubes in and find out what exactly. So that's the beauty of this micro electromechanical systems, where advancement in this. Okay, so let's move on. Even nowadays, you could monitor the chronic diseases, with these wearables. Like for example, diabetic. So if you look at the bottom here with the eyeball on the retina, you have actually a lens, and this lens have a complete monitoring system which can detect the level of your sugar from the eye drops, okay, and it start transmitting that uh, reading to another device which you could actually plug in on your belly, inject it inside your skin, so it could actually inject appropriate level of insulin, into your body. So that's another, and they have done actually very successfully this implementation. So even in cancer patients also, they have incorporated these variables and can actually monitor successfully the cancer patients and all that, right? Okay, so the other one is respiratory disorder. So if people who have asthmatic or with uh, respiratory tract infection, severe, and they have some issues with taking the breath. So you could embed these kind of monitors, and they would be detecting all that. And if your breathing pattern is out of all, in critical stage, they could even alert the nearest medical or healthcare. So this is another example. So if you look at that, the last one is about heart. So on top right, you could see here these chips here. If you notice, even in your treadmill, or even in your cycling, when you're exercising, there are some sensors. So by detecting your thumb, or if you're holding it, it would detect your heart rate, your heartbeat, and pulse, and things like that. So it actually even detects. So at in this particular device, it can take a ECG, and it could display on your smartphone, or on the smartphone of your clinician or your doctor. So this is another wearable computing, or wearables, which we could actually track or monitor heart diseases. Okay. Once again, thanks those who just joined in and watching my broadcast. Feel free to comment, and if you want to know more, do let me know. And if you have any suggestions or any question, feel free to ask. And those who are watching this broadcast from Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, feel free to post comments there also. Hopefully, I could see in my Hat Studio, and I will be answering your comments, and addressing your questions. Okay, so let's move on. Future domain. I put future domains, but some of these devices or wearables are already available in the market. But if you notice, they are more on, like in army maybe, or in certain other domains, they have actually successfully implemented, and now they are passing it to general public. So that's where, like, we call that as head mounted displays. So you notice here there are few. I don't want to name. Maybe in another broadcast I may come up with. Google actually started now. Facebook is also starting. Apple also, and there are a lot of other companies. They are starting, coming up with display or monitor inside, embedded inside your glass. So while you're wearing glass, looking at anybody, immediately you could get the information. Like, who is this person, and you could even interact with that glass by using some kind of hand gestures or wearables. So you could control all that information. So I'm just sharing some of the examples here about wearables and how we could use them in education technology. So if excuse me, if we have these glasses, and looking at a model in laboratories, for example, you could immediately can get labels if you want to know anatomy of a model or body part, or if you look at a printer or photocopy machine and you don't know how to operate. So these glasses could have, very helpful. They could immediately scan, and if most of the, like in Google, they have Google Lens. So the moment you scan any image, it could recognize and could label that image. And if you're scanning a building, it could immediately tell you that this building, the name of the building, and things like that. So you could use that, right? So these wearable, like head mounted displays, could assist, like in fighter planes. Pilots, they do have this screen which they can actually calculate the target and things like that, very fast. Okay, so once again, I could see 24 in the eyeballs. That's good. Thanks for dropping by in my broadcast. So let's move on. There's another domain which actually I need to just highlight, exoskeleton. Okay, so even in Japan, they are doing a lot of research because the aging population is growing, and how we could actually assist our elders, and these kind of robotics could assist them even in mobility. And if you look at it, they have implemented at different domains. For example, these two images, I would say, are showing to overcome the illness or muscular weakness, and if you are ill, so it will support you in your walking, in your posture, in your lift up walking, things like that. And if you look at here, most of these workers, when they are carrying heavy weight equipment or load, so this exoskeleton would assist them in lifting it nicely without injuring their own body. So they have actually experimented that even in hospitals also. So when you have to actually carry patient, you could wear this kind of exo. Exo, I would say, like, is external, like outside of your body. The skeleton they have, weird. I think in movies you have already seen that, a person sitting in a robot and can do a lot of stuff. So it's a similar concept they have actually implemented, and quite successfully so. If this is the case, so future, we need to teach our students how they are going to actually operate these kind of equipments, or how they are going to program them, how they are actually putting artificial intelligence into these wearables. And there are so many other domains which we could actually incorporate it in education. Okay, so let's move on to my next topic, and that is drop in audio chat. So before I move into this, let me change my title. So that's another beauty while you're broadcasting. Now you could change the title of your broadcast. So EduTech and audio chat. Okay. Yeah. So let's save, and then you could see. Yeah. So what I need to do, I'm just changing the title, and then I'm adding the hashtag also. Wow, so they have allowed us to edit hashtag also. That's, I think, is new also. Before, I can't remember that we could do that, right? So let me click save, and you could see the title of my broadcast is changed. Show award banner. I don't want to show that. Yeah, okay. Show username, I think. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So I already changed that. Let's go back to the chat and see uh, who is watching my broadcast. So my second topic is about audio chat. So I would say Twitter was the first one, I would say, to start with the spaces. Okay, after Periscope, uh, they end the Periscope. They started Twitter Spaces. Then Clubhouse is at the back here. I need to change this image to bring in back. For it started with iOS, and lately they have launched Android app also. So now all Android users and iOS users, we can all be in the, I would say, Clubhouse. And the concept here is like, it's a room. You go in, and host will assign you and give you mic, and you could start talking. So it's just voice only, no video. Okay. So let me bring myself back so you could see me also. Yeah. So this is what I so far started, and if you go to my profile, you could see the invite, and anyone from using Android device and would like to have a invite. I don't know why I feel blur in the studio. Actually, on the right side now is much better. Okay. So if anyone who would like to have an invite, just let me know in the chat and comment, and I could actually. Oh, thanks, Tina. I really appreciate. So we'll be actually doing some kind of discussion there also. So love to see you there also, and happy to see you that you're still around. Okay. Hopefully this broadcast is helpful for you. Okay, so let's move on. Our So I mean, this is very easy. No need. It's not a rocket science. Like, let me show you in the next diagram. So this is how it looks like. So if you scan this QR code and you have already installed the Clubhouse app, you would be actually directly connecting to my channel. Follow me. So whenever I'm logging live, you could actually get alert. Okay, and it's very simple. So if you see, this is how the people with their profile pictures will be there. Sure, sure, no worries. I do appreciate. Yeah. So thanks for dropping by. Okay, really appreciate. So if you look at this image at the bottom here, let me, I think, bring myself back so you could see the picture clearly. Yeah. So if you notice, there is some image issues. If that is the case, you could actually go to the settings and there's a uh, refresh. Yeah, restart graphics server, and everything will be actually much better. If you get that kind of issues with your graphics. Okay. So the first screen, it shows you you are already in the room. Okay. Here you could see, and these are different speakers, and host can assign mics and they can talk. So, and people can talk unlimited number of hours. You can talk. The only thing is, if sometime you may get a good crowd and you get a very good discussion going on, and but sometimes you do need to manage nicely if people are just coming there to spoil the session. There are different types of people around in the world. Okay. And once you start subscribing to people, and they will start introducing to you similar, like whatever you're liking, they will start introducing to you. And once you subscribe or follow somebody, the person who is following, that's how you see other people also. So this is very simple. Yesterday I tried for 5 minutes, so I still need to build my audience on the Clubhouse. So let's see what is next. Yeah, the other thing I would like to share uh, is my YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to my channel. I have already shared in my profile also. Quite surprisingly, there is a delay because I have shared the screen, I think, 20 seconds before. So maybe I need to do another refresh on the graphics server. So the moment, let me this change my setting. I don't want to show my name. Okay, animated layout also off, everything off, but it's still showing, subscribers and right. And you hopefully you can scan this QR code on top. So I should put at the right side so it won't cover. Okay, right. So do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Actually, all recordings will be available there, and I will be actually starting trying to start build my community at different platforms also. Okay. Feel free to ask any questions you have about these platforms. And I will be sharing my blog also. So if you scan this QR code on the top, let me test. I should test before sharing. Ideally, that is the best way, but sorry, I forget to do that. Okay, the first one is my slide share, and bottom one should be my blog. So both are slide share. Okay. So the moment you scan, you could actually go to my SlideShare account where I shared all my slides of my workshops, my broadcasts, or yes, excuse me. I I will be sharing all my content. So feel free to use them. Just give me a credit. Okay, and this is my Twitter handler at hbloch. Okay, that's all. Let me stop presenting and oops. Okay, and bring back myself. Yeah. So no worries. That's all. Actually, nowadays we can't. I mean, if you are able to watch my broadcast and can comment, I'm happy. You are already tech savvy, you are smart enough to communicate to a person from different part of the world. I am originally from Pakistan. I'm living in Malaysia and doing broadcasts from Malaysia, and you're from New York, New Jersey. Sorry, yeah. So that's how we start picking up. At least try to learn one or a few tools. We can't actually learn each and everything, so feel free to ask questions. I could actually show you even how I have created the QR codes just now, and once you practice it will be easy to learn and memorize things. Tools and technologies will come and go, so our learning methodology and technique should be always there to assist us. Like I started broadcasting just watching with Blab long time ago, then Periscope, then YouTube. So I was never a broadcaster, I was just silent observer. So thanks to Randy who actually invited me. I was watching his broadcast to Habs, and that's where I, thanks to Habs platform also giving me this opportunity to broadcast. And for a gap of almost 2 months, I'm now back again. So I will try to catch up and try at least once in a week to do one broadcast. My focus will be more on technology enhanced learning, how we could use technology for teaching and learning. And there's so many other things. Even you are not a student, but still we have to learn and different things. So oh yeah, yeah. Randy is a great influencer. Nice to see that and hear that. Yeah. So he's the one who brought me to HAPS, and now I'm doing a broadcast regularly without any shy or any difficulty. Even you could see the green screen at the back. We were experimenting certain things in on Twitch. So I have yet to experiment using different studios. For example, I saw somewhere someone actually have done that by mirroring the virtual camera, like using OBS Studio or Prism, and you could actually do the broadcasts. Yeah. So I'm done. I will be adding certain more wearable computings or wearables for EduTech. So those who will be actually watching the broadcast later on, my recording of my broadcast, feel free to comment and give leave your questions here. And once I will visit again and I will address your questions. So I will be ending my broadcast soon. Thanks those who just dropped by, and thanks for all my audience from different platforms. So do follow and come on Habs, and then we could actually do more live comments, and I can invite anybody, and we can actually do Q&A face to face, live. Yeah. So that's the beauty of it. And currently I could see seven different platforms this broadcast is going, and I will be ending my broadcast. Stay safe wherever you are, stay happy. And once again, thanks for dropping by to my broadcast, and see you in my next broadcast. Mas salama, or Assalamualaikum, like peace be upon you. So see you in my next broadcast. I will put the countdown and I'll go back. See you in my next podcast.